What is up, everybody? Tommy, what's up?
How's it going?
How's it going? This is the third episode of Bolts Breakdown. Thank you for listening. We have a lot to cover.
Oh, yeah.
It is about Wednesday, 5 p.m. The Lightning play at Benchmark International Arena in like 2 hours.
Yeah.
But we have a lot to cover, obviously. So, Tommy, why don't you tell anybody who maybe took a slight hiatus or whatever that word is from the Lightning this week, what's been going on? What happened? Where do we stand? What are we looking forward to this week?
Okay, so this week was sort of interesting, right? The second half of the road trip, and then into the homestand to finish off the season. So far we are 2-1 with one more game to play, right, for this week, finishing off the season. We got a loss, of course, last Thursday, was it?
Yep.
Against Montreal, and then we won over the weekend against Boston. We won the other day against Detroit, and now the Rangers to finish off the season.
All right. So, great recap.
Yeah.
Was there anything that stood out to you from this week, from the games specifically?
Yeah. Well,
where do you think the Lightning are?
Okay, so I was thinking about this quite a bit before we came on to today, and I was like, obviously we looked bad during the road trip, and then we're trying to pick it back up as we finish off the season. But the biggest things that stuck out to me were twofold. One was Boston. So on Saturday when we played Boston, I felt like that was a total recovery game for us, right? I mean, we're on the road. We were looking bad on the road. We've looked great on the road this year, though. And so I felt like us winning at Boston in the way that we did was a big recovery for us. And just as a fan, I'm like, thank goodness, honestly, because if we had lost, they kept saying on it because it was nationally televised. And so the guys kept saying, they're like, well, under John Cooper, this has never happened. You know, a road trip where we lost 4 games
where
in
we
regulation.
lost all of them?
Yep, where we didn't have a point.
That's interesting. I didn't know
And
that.
they were saying the last time that happened was in like 2001. And whoever it was, Ray Ferraro, I don't remember, one of the guys on National was like, yeah, well, the Lightning weren't good then. You know, and so now they're really
different
good.
Team for sure.
And so I felt like on Saturday that was a huge recovery win for us, especially considering that our team isn't used to playing at noon or like 1 o'clock on a game. So that was a big recovery for. I don't know.
I feel like the afternoon games always screw us, but that's beside the point.
I don't know, but
so that was a big win for you.
I thought so, because if we didn't, I felt like that would have demoralized our team. Of like, we just got destroyed on a road trip playing 3 out of 4 teams that we could possibly play in the playoffs.
They were all like playoff. I think they were all.
Actually, all of them.
They are all still in the playoffs.
Yeah. What? Boston, Ottawa, Montreal, and wow, why am I blanking on the last one?
I mean, all 3 of the ones
Buffalo.
this week. Buffalo. Yeah, that's what started out. That was Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yes, we lost Buffalo, and then we lost Montreal, and then we were playing Boston, and that would have been 4 out of 4.
We could have gotten swept. I mean, we were looking a little rough.
It was a big win. I thought it was funny. So Boston came into the game 2 Saturdays ago. So we played them back-to-back Saturdays. The first Saturday, they were 34-0-4, I think, after leading in the third period. So, like, coming into the third period with a lead. They had never lost in regulation. Obviously, we came back 2 Saturdays ago. That's, like, distant memory. But we came back. We beat them. And so they were 34-1-4. And then this Saturday, we were playing them, and they were leading in the third period. 15 minutes to go, they're up 1-0, and we came back to beat them again in regulation. So now Boston has 2 regulation losses after coming into the third period with the lead, and we're responsible for both.
Yeah, I thought that. So the Boston was, for me, the word I got was recovery. Like, we were recovering ourselves from that. And then the Detroit game, I thought, was probably the first game in this big stretch to end the season that was playoff style, quote unquote, air quotes, playoff style.
Really?
That
they were eliminated when
I know they were,
them,
but it turned into a playoff style game when they came back and pushed us to 3-3. And it was the first out of those types of games that I felt like we actually got through and won. I mean, first of all, I love NHL overtime. So it's
the 3-on-3?
Yeah, the 3-on-3. It's stressful and it feels like a shootout sometimes, or like a breakaway shootout, but it's exciting hockey. So I was super pumped that Vasi makes a big save. Kucherov scores on the other end.
Yeah. I mean, it's fun. It's electric. I know some people hate it just because it's like, that's not how you played the whole game. But I do like it. I don't think I like it being different in the playoffs. Like, I almost wish, and I know people, I don't think you should play 3-on-3 in the playoffs, But if we're not going to play in the playoffs, then why are we playing it in the regular season?
Well, we used to do 4-on-4, I think, in the playoffs at some point in the past,
yeah,
right?
they played with it.
Yeah.
But then, as I say that, I'm like, you don't want the games to go to 5 overtimes like it did in the playoffs
Maybe
one
people
year.
do.
In the
I
regular
don't know.
season. Like, on a random Monday, you're going to lose your whole audience. No one's staying up for that.
Free hockey. But I don't know. Did you have any thoughts about the week before we...
No, I agree with all those. The Boston game was huge. I felt like we needed that, but I wasn't super impressed with the performance, especially leading up to when we had, like, why do we have to come back? It just feels like this team has, like, these mental lapses, and it's like...
Is it because we're in the playoffs?
I think so. I think we're just confident. I think it's like these games don't matter. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
We're in. Like, let's not empty the tank, so to speak.
Yeah, sure. You said that last week, too.
Yeah. They're professional athletes, so I do think they are emptying the tank. And obviously we see, like, fights, and they're engaged physically, so it's like, how am I going to sit here and say that they're not, like, focused, you know? But it's just like these mental lapses, and any team in the NHL, even the Vancouver Canucks, who are the worst team by far this year, like, could destroy you if you have mental lapses. I think we did get crushed by Vancouver earlier in the year, actually, come to think of it. So I just thought it was mental lapses, and it was especially evident in the Montreal game. I mean, Radish, we're losing 1-0, we're pushing. Radish has a bomb to tie the game. It's like 2 minutes left.
Yeah.
And then we let up the goal with
Moser's
less than a
play
minute
was
left.
rough.
I mean,
It was just a mental mistake.
It's the mental lapses.
Yeah, it's true. I think, one thing I think about our team is, yes, we made the playoffs, and like, we're in, right, at that point. And we were in early last week, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that.
Yes, yeah.
So once we're in, and then I felt like, we definitely took our foot off the gas. And, every commentator, everybody on the team who gets interviewed is always talking about, like, we can't exhale, especially John Cooper, right?
Yeah.
But the reality is, I think Dave Mishkin has said this, that you can exhale. Like, you legitimately, there is a reason that people do seem to at least slow down. I think Mishkin said it. He's like, you exhale, or maybe not that you can, but that you do.
Right.
Exhale.
It's natural.
It's natural to
as hard as you try, it's going to be a different level of compete.
Yeah. But I did think that the Detroit game winning in overtime was important. I think now that we have home ice, right, it's secured. So I texted you earlier and said, it's basically the only game in the entire year that has no standings implications, right? Yeah. It's essentially meaningless.
Yeah, it's like an exhibition game. That's what I told Jordan, my wife, earlier.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know that anyone's going to be there tonight, but maybe
it's fan appreciation night. People will show up.
I mean, we're going to be there.
Yeah, no.
Gooch has got to score 5 points tonight.
I mean,
Jason
at
McDavid.
least 5 points, so we'll see. But I feel like that brings me to think through, okay, this is the end of a season that has had so much go on with it, right? Yeah. We have had a lot. And I think that, we'll get to our next segment, which is season-defining moments. I feel like as we're looking at the playoffs, before we talk about the playoffs, we have to talk about this regular season and the moments that we thought really defined the season, right? Everybody has their favorite moments. You sent me that earlier this week too, of like, everybody's got a favorite.
The Lightning posted that out and had fans respond to it, yeah.
I mean, favorite moments, everybody's going to have one. How can we forget Stadium Series, things like that? But I feel like us giving a perspective on what defines our season and what defines this team, right? The Tampa Bay Lightning 2025, 2026.
What would you say? What is the moment then?
So I thought about this and I was like, is there a one moment? Is there a game? Is there what? And I decided on a stretch that we had, and not the 19-1-1 stretch fully, but actually the week of February 2nd to February 6th.
Okay.
Walk me through my season-defining moment. Okay, so that week starts with all the hype that is the Stadium Series, right? The Stadium Series was the biggest thing on our calendar for this year, right? Besides, like, the Olympics.
That's like leading right up to the Olympics, right?
Yep, leading right up to the Olympics. This is the 3 games right before the Olympics. Okay. So we play Boston in the Stadium Series, right, on Sunday.
Yep.
And then we played Buffalo 2 days later at home. It's a big game. And then we played the Panthers 2 days after that. And so I felt like this stretch...
What a gauntlet of a stretch.
This stretch was a season-defining moment. And so the reason I think that is because, number one, I watched the highlights of all three of these games.
We won all three?
We won all 3 of these games. So I watched the highlights of all these 3 just recently because I was like, what is a defining moment for our team? And one thing was similar in all of them. I felt like Our team, first of all, was healthy, right? All the guys who were playing their best were healthy.
Isn't that the key?
Yeah. You had James, you had Cirelli healthy, you had Paul. The Stadium Series game was where we lost Cirelli and Paul at some point, right? Yeah. But our team was healthy. We came back from deficits, and we destroyed and frankly sort of humiliated the Florida Panthers. And I felt like it was defining of who we are as a team. So, of course, the Boston Bruins game, of course, the Stadium Series game, we're down 5-1. We have the resiliency to come back. And I remember sitting on my couch with Sarah and, like, we were demoralized. We were completely sad. Like, we were sad.
We were too. Jordan was devastated. I was like, just keep believing.
Yeah.
Kind of preaching at myself, too, because I was like, how are we going to come back?
But we had belief. Our team had belief, and so I think it gave us as fans belief. And watching those goals one by one come, and yes, the Bruins probably kind of shot themselves in the foot with the penalties, but one by one and coming back was the most exhilarating probably sports experience that I think I've had,
especially regular season.
Oh,
I mean,
my
there's
goodness.
nothing like it.
I don't think there's anything like it. So
the feeling I got when Kucherov like nailed that game tying
shot.
Oh
my goodness!
I think it hit post or something. You could just hear it. It was
and
jolt.
Sean McDonough calling the game from, I think it was ESPN or something, and he's
I'm
like,
not sure.
When he's like talking about the goalie fight happens, we forget about the goalie fight.
I mean, that's what sparked it all,
right?
Vassy.
So it's not just that game though; it was the stretch.
Yeah.
And so after that game, we play at home again, right? Buffalo. And that game goes to overtime. And that game, I don't know if you remember this overtime, but Kucherov makes a no-look pass across the entire ice, turning around to Gensel for a breakaway on the overtime. And
yes, yeah.
You remember this?
That, yeah.
Okay. So Kucherov makes an attempt, and then he makes a second attempt, goes all the way down the ice and gets Gensel, and Gensel scores the game-winning goal, right? But this game we also had a 6-on-5 goal with 33 seconds left in the game.
Was that Radish's?
That was Radish's.
Yeah. I remember Radish's goal. I mean, that is still a highlight I look back on.
Yep.
Like when people ask me my favorite moments, that has to be on there.
So I think that combined with the Stadium Series, and then we capped off that 3-game stretch by beating the Panthers 6-1 at home. We demolished them. We made them look bad. And frankly, the Panthers weren't great this year, right? But it's always a rivalry. And so us beating them 6-1, I think, stamped like we are the Florida team this year. Yeah. Like out of the Florida team.
Not just this year, every year.
I mean,
we are the Florida team.
But let's be honest.
Get out of our state.
Let's be honest what happened. But anyways, I felt like that stretch, right? Boston, Buffalo, Florida, and how our team looked, how we played, coming from behind, scoring 6-on-5, winning overtime, and destroying our rival was really a season-defining moment for us. And as a fan, I vividly remember experiencing that whole week. And so I think I told Sarah at one point during that week, I think maybe after the Panthers game, this is maybe the greatest week of Lightning hockey that I've seen.
Wow.
Like regular season,
high
right?
Praise, yeah.
But like, wow, this was incredible.
It was incredible.
Watching those games back, I was like, this is the Tampa Bay Lightning this year.
I remember leading up to the Panthers game, just like thinking, because they weren't eliminated yet. Like they're still, I mean, they had been pretty bad, and it was like, hey, they're not going to make the playoffs. But the break was still coming. They're still like, are they going to just pick it up after the Olympics?
Plenty of time.
Yeah, plenty of time. But losing that game was kind of like the nail in the coffin. At least it felt that way for me, especially leading up to it. I was like, if we can beat them, like kick them out of the playoffs, there's no greater feeling.
Yeah.
And obviously we spank them.
So wait, what about for you? I feel like we probably have similar maybe, but different. I want to hear yours. I don't know.
That's actually not one I thought of.
Okay.
That is a great answer.
Yeah.
So I'll share. I have two.
Okay.
The first one, so obviously we start 1-4-2 and terrible. Like worst start in John Cooper era, maybe like franchise history. It's terrible. Brandon Hagel said something on the tail end of it, but he was like, we're basically going to laugh about the start. Like we didn't just become a bad team overnight. And I think that's super true now, obviously. Like, obviously, who cares? We started 1-4-2. No one cares.
We're in the playoffs.
Yeah. So we're laughing about it now, which Brandon Hagel is right. But so we had lost 3 games in a row at home to start the season, and we had a back-to-back at home against the Anaheim Ducks and the Vegas Golden Knights, 2 Western Conference teams. And again, we had lost all these home games. Like we weren't good. Vassy, I don't know if he had a win yet. I think the only win was Johansson. Maybe he had one. But it's like, what's going on with the team, obviously? And so in that first game against Anaheim, we were leading 3-1 heading into the third. So it's like, finally, we're going to get a win. Okay. And we, similar to the Detroit game this past week, we let up 2 goals. So now it's 3-3 in the third. Obviously, we had been terrible up to this point, and now we had just blown a 3-1 lead in the third. Like, who is this team? This is not the Lightning that we thought could do some damage in last year's playoff, but disappointing first-round exit, and now we're starting horribly. Like, maybe we've just lost it. It would have meant 4 straight losses on home ice, which Brandon Hagel said in the same interview, as I mentioned earlier. He's like, I don't know that that's ever happened, especially for any of the guys currently on the team. Like, 4 straight losses to begin the year at home.
Yeah.
Brutal. Obviously, we win that game, and that was just, like, that is absolutely crucial for the momentum. And then we have the back-to-back the next night against Vegas, and Vasilevsky was just brilliant. Mm-hmm. It went to overtime, and we felt like we had that kind of curse. I don't know if you felt like that, but it felt like overtimes weren't going our way. But Kucherov scores 32 seconds in. So we win both games on the back-to-back, 2 games at home. I thought that was crucial. And obviously that, like, kind of spurred us on to bigger, better things. But if we lost both of those, which we easily could have, like it was a 3-3 game and then an overtime game, I mean, I think that just, like, swung our season, and I think it was defining for us.
Yeah.
Like, to be able to win those back-to-back, like, settle down, we are a good team, like, we'll be fine.
Well, I remember during that time period watching us lose multiple times and feeling, of course, disappointed. But also, this is the first year that you guys were using season tickets.
I
right?
know, my wife and I.
And I remember
like
that
the
you
curse
guys
for a second
were like, "Oh, this might be the worst season for this to happen," and we're like, "Oh no!" So I think that I can't even remember that back to back, but I feel like we turned around somewhere, and it sounds like that's where we did.
It was
right,
huge.
At least a big start of that turnover. I mean, we won 2 games in 2 days, and we had won 1 game in
none at home
14 days.
Yeah, they were our first home wins of the season.
Wow.
And that's what, 7, that was our 8th and 9th game of the season.
Yeah, so, and then we won 47 games after that.
Fans are a little restless. Like, my wife and I are restless. Like, why do we pay obviously we do it no matter what, but we bought these season tickets, and now we suck.
You're the curse or something.
No.
Okay.
Never
so
never a doubt.
You said you had 2.
Yep. So the second one, so we won like 4 games in a row after that back-to-back. And then we had lost 3, and then we won 2 more, and then we lost another 4 games in a row. So, like, we kind of got a little streaky. Like, it was like 4 game loss, and we won 2, and then more games lost in a row. And it's like, okay, maybe this team does stink. But it was 12-20, so December 20th against Carolina. And this game we had lost 3
This is
games
the start
prior.
team of the 19-1-1.
Yes, it is the very start of 21-1 stretch.
Oh, 21-1.
So 20 wins out of 22 games. And it would have been 4 losses in a row had we lost this game. But Carolina comes out, and they score 3 in the opening period. And I remember because sometimes I have to watch at work, and I always feel like we lose when I watch at work. And so I'm watching at work, and we're down 3-0, like this onslaught from the Hurricanes in the opening period. I'm like, are you kidding me? And it was about to be 4 games in a row, like lost 8 of the last 10. So, again, it's like a little bit of doubt. Like, never really doubt, but is this really the team? Like, are we really going to get smacked by the Hurricanes? Come on. Obviously, we come back in the second period. We score 3 of our own. So now it's 3-3 heading into the third. And I was like, all right, we're good. Like, we just had a bad start. But we give up the first goal in the third period. So now it's 4-3. And that just feels like a backbreaker. Like, we're down 3-0. We come all the way back. It's a 3-3 game, like, reset. And then we give up the 4th one.
And that's where I feel like at many times, maybe in the past or other teams, would just say, like not say that we give up, but almost feel like our win is taken out of us.
Yeah,
like,
it's a gut punch. Yeah. It's just a gut punch.
Yeah.
But McDonough scores 30 seconds later. Ryan McDonough.
Is this the goal where he drives through the middle of the ice and scores?
Yeah, it's like the most unlike Ryan McDonough goal, but he puts the back on his team.
He was the Mack truck.
Yeah, the Mack truck, exactly. So that was a big moment. And then obviously, as you said, we won 19 of the next 21 games. Yeah. So 21-1 stretch. And
unbelievable.
I mean, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
It is crazy. And I think it's weird. That game we had given up 3 first-period goals, and we came back to win. And the last game of our home stretch, I think we had a similar feeling. Like, it was like a 3-goal first period. So it was just kind of weird that happened. But I thought that Carolina game was crucial. It's a defining moment where this team proved who they were.
Yeah. I think it brings me to think it's funny that you had those defining moments because Mine was right at the end of that stretch of the 21-1
Sure,
or 19-1, right?
The last game we won was the Panthers game, right? Or no,
the
we
Toronto
won
Maple Leafs right after the Olympic break, right? But we weren't playing well. But anyways, so my moment was the end of that streak. Your second moment was the beginning of that streak, and your first moment was the beginning of the season.
Right.
And so I think that brings us to where we are now, which is literally 3 days away from the Lightning in the playoffs.
in the playoffs, baby.
How are you feeling?
All that matters. I feel so. I've got all the confidence in the world.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a team in the NHL, especially the Eastern Conference, that can beat us. I don't
Really?
care where it is. I don't care who it is. I just don't think we're gonna lose. We
Okay.
have the best coach, the best player, the best goalie. We have unheard of depth. Like Oliver Bjorkstrand, a 20-goal scorer, like supposed to be in the top 6, is playing in our 4th line, maybe scratched. Like that's our depth.
Yeah.
And you're gonna tell me somebody's gonna come beat us when we have the best coach, best goalie, best player, and all that depth? Like
Well, okay.
I'm confident.
So my question then would be, you say it won't beat us, but we've been banged up this year, right?
Sure.
And I don't know if it's just because we've been playing a million games and back-to-backs and every other days or what, but we've been banged up. And when we're banged up, sometimes we've struggled. Not during our streak, but recently, after post-Olympic break, we've
Right.
struggled. And so my question is, are we unbeatable no matter what? Or are we unbeatable to an extent, depending on who's injured? Or, like, what's your assessment of that?
Depends on what no matter what means. Like if we lose, if John Cooper retires tomorrow and Vasilevsky's not in net,
yeah.
No,
Okay.
we're not beatable no matter what. But I
Yeah.
think if we have Kucherov and Vasilevsky healthy, and obviously John Cooper behind the bench, I think we're gonna win. Like I think
Really?
we have enough depth that no team's gonna beat us.
Wow. Okay. So
That's just how I feel.
Well-
I think we were so close last year, and Hagel has talked. He talked about it this week. Like in the room, there just feels like there's unfinished business, similar to when we went out in 2019 in the first round. Like we were shocked. We got swept by the Columbus Blue Jackets after winning the President's Trophy. Like we came back the next series, and it was like that's not right. Like we have something to settle here.
Yeah.
And I think it's similar this year. Obviously, we didn't have the same expectations going into last playoffs, but I think there was a real belief in the locker room, and then the Panthers stunned us. And I always go back to this, but playoffs, like it was about to be 2-2 in the series. Game 4, we scored I think 2 goals in 13 seconds or 11 seconds. Like we had a great stretch for like that little 10, 15 second blip. We had secured the lead, and then the Panthers come back and do their own 11-second stretch. And that second goal went through the bottom of Ryan McDonough's skate. Like he was blocking it, went through the skate, and bounced up and went past Vasilevsky. And it was just like, we talk about gut punches. That felt like a gut punch. And then we were out.
Yeah.
And it was that quick. And it's like the team believed that they had more to give, and it was over. And so now it's like carrying over from last season. It's like, it's time to settle up.
Yeah.
It's time to prove to everybody, including the Florida Panthers, who aren't even involved, thanks to us, that we are the best team.
Yeah. Well, it's crazy because you look at the Eastern Conference and you look at the standings, and what, 5 teams have more than 100 points in the
it's
East,
a
and
lot.
5 teams are from the Atlantic. Right? That's crazy. Our own division.
Not 5 teams over 100 points, but
No,
5
not
teams
100
in the
points.
playoffs.
Yeah, 5 teams in the playoffs from the Atlantic out of the 8 teams from the Eastern Conference. And so we're playing in like probably the toughest division
Sure.
in the toughest conference.
I think some people would argue the Colorado, Minnesota, Dallas,
But I mean, who are
Yeah.
they playing week to week too?
right.
Is the
I mean,
question,
the
I
Western
guess.
Conference is much worse as a whole.
I'm allowed to be
They're top
biased.
heavy.
I'm a Lightning fan, right? I mean, come on.
Sure. I mean, I've said like 100 biased things.
Yeah. So I mean, it is what it is. But that leads me to think about, okay, this Montreal series is going to be electric. Like it is, right? Not only for the fans, but also for the players, right? There's like Dastu, who is from Montreal.
Yeah.
There's like all these players. Even the last game we played against them was fiery. We were like fighting every other second.
Yeah.
Like, so my question for you is, what do you think about Montreal? And
As a team?
As a team, and our matchup against them.
So let me give Montreal their flowers.
Okay.
I think I told you. I don't know who I told, but Montreal is the team I did not want to play.
Yeah.
Of all of the Eastern Conference teams, including Carolina, like I don't really love playing Montreal.
Yeah.
Especially since they were there last year. Like they have this playoff experience.
They're a good team.
They're a great team. They're very young. They're very hungry. Marty St. Louis is a fabulous coach. And, I mean, there's some guys on Montreal that I just think are, like, game changers. Like, Arbor Jack guy, he crushed Scott Sabrin when we played him earlier. He knocked him out.
That guy's huge.
A tough fighter. Like, he is an enforcer by all accounts of the word. So if we mess around, like, we take a shot at Caulfield because they came at Kucherov, like, now we got to face Jack guy? Like, Chernak? Like, I don't want Chernak to face Jack guy.
I don't think anybody could.
No.
It's like he's... Yeah, so, okay, they
you
have
want to
their
know
enforcer.
something crazy, too?
Okay.
So, Josh Anderson, do you know who that is? He's on Canadiens. He was the guy, like, taking shots at us.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Okay.
He is a big guy, obviously. He's like, when I watched it, I don't know much about him, but I was like, that's an enforcer like Jack guy. Like, maybe it's the 1-2 punch, But I looked at his stats this year, and he has the same amount of 22-mile-per-hour bursts as Braden Point.
Wow.
Josh Anderson, and he's beating up our guys. He's 6'3", like 230.
That's insane.
He's as fast as Braden Point. Like,
so that's scary.
Yeah, I mean, there's just
these huge guys are coming at the ice, like flying at us.
They can fly and they can beat us up.
Yeah,
it's a little scary for sure. But I don't know. I mean, I'm confident in our team, and as scary as Montreal is, like having Nick Suzuki, having Cole Caulfield, having Slafkovsky, like they have real talent, and I do think they're the second best team in the Eastern Conference. But I think we're better. So
yeah, okay. Well, I mean, I've been thinking about the matchup, and I frankly don't follow that many other teams, but this has opened me up as we're getting into the playoffs to this is the time of year I feel like I become an NHL fan. I become a hockey fan.
You watch all the other games?
Like, I want to.
Yeah,
and so usually I just watch the Lightning games. I'm busy. You got work. You got life. Everything else is going on. And so you're like, okay, every other night, every couple nights I watch a Lightning game, 7 o'clock, turn it on, etc. But this is the time of year that I feel like I not only want to know what's going on with the other teams for the Lightning's sake, but also the hockey is just incredible.
Oh my gosh. Nothing like it.
How do they turn it up to this new level that's significantly different from the regular season? And what can we do to just enjoy it more?
I mean, I don't know. I don't have the answer to that, but I agree. It is the best sports you can watch.
Yeah.
Like late April to mid-June.
It's an insane amount of time, too. I mean, like, you watch football, like, every weekend. There's something going on. When it's the NHL playoffs, every single day there is an insane game where the crowd is on their feet the whole time, where they're crazy and screaming, and it feels like the World Cup almost. Like, it's insane. So
for me, especially, like, I watch soccer, but I'm not into it like that. Like, I'm sure the World Cup for all of these soccer fans is what we experience in the playoffs.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a totally different thing, right? This is not necessarily a worldly event or like a global event, but I do just think this is a crazy time of year where I'm like, why do I want to watch Dallas, Minnesota right now at like 9 p.m.? Like, why am I turning this game on? And yet I want to, and I enjoy the game the more. And then I'm like, oh, when is my team playing? And I start to have heart palpitations, and I'm like,
the nerves leading up to it. And the Lightning always post like these great like hype videos.
Yeah.
My twin, he'll always send us like one from a few years ago, where I don't know which one he's sending, but he like has it saved and he always watches it, and it's like his hype video that he'll send before. Sometimes he sends it before regular season games.
Yeah.
Especially in the playoffs, he's like, time to watch it, like dial in.
So what
do you think though? Like from your perspective, you don't watch a lot of these other teams.
Yeah.
But you're a big hockey fan, you're a big Lightning fan. Like, is Montreal scary to you, or are you like super confident?
Oh, that's a good question. So I feel like it really depends which Tampa Bay Lightning team shows up for me. Sure. Like, am I scared of them? If we're playing bad, yes. Like, if we're playing bad. So here's the thing. When I watch the Lightning play, even when I go to a game, I always have this thing, right, for the sake of enjoyment, that I want my team to score a goal. I just want my team to score a goal. I love seeing a goal, right? I
really?
love
that
to see a goal.
That makes you kind of weird, Tommy.
Like, I know, right? But I don't necessarily care if we lose the game. When I go to watch a game in person, I don't necessarily care if we win 8-0. I love a good game, and I love goals. So, like the 8-7 Buffalo game, if that was in Tampa, would have been like the best game from my perspective to go to. And so when I'm seeing us play, and as I'm anticipating the playoffs, I have no idea how we're going to play. I really don't. I think I have ideas, or I do have an idea, I guess, but I'm not sure how we're going to show up. And so I'm a little bit nervous, but if the team that showed up February 2nd 4th, and 6th shows up next Sunday, that's the team that I'm not going to be scared of any team. Like, really? Montreal, who cares? Like, Buffalo, who cares? Carolina, who cares? Like, Colorado, who cares? Like, if that team shows up, I don't think we can lose. Yeah. And at the very least, I don't think I could possibly have any more fun.
If the team that's been playing post-Olympics shows up, do you think we have a shot?
So if the team like that shows up, the other team has to suck a little bit, to be honest, right? They have to make their own mistakes, right? I don't think a Montreal team firing on all cylinders is going to lose consistently to a team like the post-Olympic break Lightning. Like, I just don't think so.
It's interesting, even with Vasilevsky, because Vasilevsky has been dialed, even post-Olympics.
Now, Sarah always says, and many people say this, right? Hot goalie above all, right? Sure, if you have a hot goalie, that's all you need. Bobrovsky, well, I think it was 2024 or something like that, was just unbelievable, and you can't get past him. He's not always like that. No. Right, not this year, that's for sure. But when he was, it was unstoppable. And so I think if Vasilevsky, he can be that hot goalie, but he's not always that hot goalie.
He has been as of late. He's going to win the Vezina this year.
Yeah, but how
goalie?
How much does the regular season determine the playoffs, Boomer?
I don't know.
How much? We're going to see.
We are going to see.
We're going to see.
Yeah.
We're going to see. But I do think if we show up, like I said, in the season-defining moment, we are going to be the Stanley Cup champions. That's what I think.
Long way to go.
Yes.
Long way to go. That's going to be all we have for now. Yep. We'll come back. We're going to be at this. We're going to record after every playoff game.
Yeah.
So if we play, let's say we play Sunday, we're going to record on Monday. We'll release it Tuesday morning. So the morning of our playoff games, we'll have another episode kind of debriefing the previous playoff game.
Probably shorter, right?
Yeah, shorter episodes, or maybe longer. Who knows? Depends on if somebody takes a shot at Hagel's head again, because that's going to rile me up a little bit.
Yeah, okay.
But we're going to hang out with you. We're going to talk Lightning. Again, you can interact with us on socials, Bolts Breakdown on Substack, also on X. You can send us emails. I mean, however you want to engage about the Lightning. That's our goal. That's why we do this podcast. We're just big Lightning fans who just love talking about the game, and sometimes after the game ends, you're like, I want to talk more Lightning. Like, this is an outlet for that. I always do. Yep. So that's what we do. Bolts Breakdown does exist in 2 formats. So there's a blog that's released every single Monday. It's got like the highlights, the random findings, the milestones. It's kind of more formal. But if you don't like to read, then you just hang out with us, Tommy and I, on the Bolts Breakdown podcast, and we'll just yap about the Lightning, because that's what we like to do. Mm-hmm. But most importantly, don't forget to be the Thunder this week. Cheer on the Bolts. We got playoffs coming up, and we got a game tonight. So,
all right,
go Bolts.
Go Bolts.